On this day, how the Great Fire of London began in a bakery before burning thousands of homes. The worst fire in the history of London began in a bakery on Sunday, 2nd September 1666, and raged throughout the capital for days, destroying thousands of homes. The blaze destroyed the first St. Paul's Cathedral, and up to 13,000 homes, leaving around 80,000 people homeless. Fires were a fairly common occurrence in 17th century London, and when the Lord Mayor of London, Sir Thomas Bloodworth, was woken to be told of the fire, he said, "Pish! A woman might push it out." But what later became known as the Great Fire of London spread rapidly as the city very dry after a long hot summer. Warehouse near Pudding Lane, where the fire started, were also full of timber and oil. Just 6 people are known. Rage every way, and nobody, to my sight, endeavoring to quench it, but to remove their goods, and leave all to the fire, and having seen it get as far as the Steelyard, and the wind mighty high, and driving it into the city, and everything, after so long a drought, proving combustible, even the very stones of churches. Pepys, who had witnessed the plague laying waste to London the year before, to have died in the fire, although modern historians suggest the true casualty count may have been considerably higher. Much of what we know about the fire comes from the diaries of Samuel Pepys, a naval administrator and member of Parliament. Over 4 days, he chronicled how the fire tore through the city, defying efforts to stop it by destroying homes in its path. He wrote that he saw the fire, described how the river was full of boats carrying people and their goods. Some of the people fled to the hills of Hampstead and Highgate, others to Moorfield. Pepys described a destruction which saw buildings including the Guildhall and the Royal Exchange destroyed, leaving medieval London all in dust. He wrote that St. Paul's is burned, and all Cheapside. I wrote to my father this night, but the post house being burned, the letter could not go. A French watchmaker, Robert Hubert, confessed to starting the fire and was hanged, but evidence emerged later showing he was at sea at the time and could not have been guilty. As London was rebuilt in the wake of the Great Fire, Sir Christopher Wren, architect of St. Paul's Cathedral, also proposed a monument to the fire. Today, the monument is a familiar London landmark, which contains a stone staircase leading to a viewing platform. Londoners are also familiar with it due to the tube station near Bank which bears its name. At the top is a drum and a copper urn from which flames emerge, symbolizing the Great Fire. The monument is 202 feet high, to commemorate the distance between the pillar and the bakery in Pudding Lane W, where the fire began.